And now we are live. Well, good morning, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back to another trading session. Yeah, yesterday I was not able to stream. I was dealing with some real life chores, so couldn't make it here on stream. And yeah, but what matters is that we are back to it and back to our live streams. So I hope you're doing well. I hope everything is good with you as well. And yeah, let's go back to the and straight to the charts since we already opened. Let me just mark the 9:30 open candle here, and then I will talk about what I expect for this week's price action in a minute. Just let me mark 8:30 open as well. So 8:30 open here, and there we go. So yeah, as you might know, this week is the Thanksgiving week. So this is a smaller wick week. I mean, um, so we eventually expect a price action which is not usual, and we can eventually expect price action to be some kind of awkward as well. Not a lot of volume in the market, and it can eventually come to the just let me, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what's happening here with the other platform. I don't mind. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what's going to happen this week, because it's the Thanksgiving week on US, and we might have some sort of a awkward price action, um, eventually not giving us some real good movements and some low volume as well. So eventually expecting some kind of a consolidation, or eventually giving us some rally that which can eventually happen as well, since we are heading towards the end of the month and towards the end of the year as well. So at this point, if we look into our intraday chart, we can see that Asia kind of ranged, London manipulated lower towards this 4 hour and 1 hour fair value gap, and now we are trying to displace higher towards pre-market highs. This was something that happened. I don't know what really happened here, but something happened. And yeah, we kind of displaced higher now, moving towards pre-market highs. These levels here, as you might ask, these levels are uh, the daily wick quadrants, which I usually tend to mark here. So this wick here, this premium wick, we are trying to get above 25% of it, reaching probably towards the midpoint, the next quadrant, and eventually the top of it. Notice that price did not reach for, or was not able to close below its low. So this might give us a narrative, and probably a bullish narrative for now. But let's see. I just want to see something similar on ES and NQ, and right now uh, ES is not giving us something similar to what NQ is doing. If I look at the At the Dow, yeah, the Dow seems way extended to the upside. So this is definitely the strongest sister here. MNQ the weakest, and eventually ES is the one who always stays in the middle of them. So let me look at the regular trading hours. We still have previous day high to take out as buy side liquidity on the regular trading hour session. We still have this sell side liquidity here on the regular trading hour session as well. So I will mark this one too. There we go. And I will add this one here. As the regular trading hour session buy side liquidity. So in order to take any sort of decision, I would like to see price taking eventually buy side liquidity or sell side liquidity on the regular trading hour system, since we already closed the gap, the opening range gap, which was a small one, not a gap that we could eventually work with. So at this point, I'm just waiting for price to give us something more. It's not giving us anything that we could work with so far. So what about you guys? Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Are you just neutral? Are you not trading at all, since we are inside the um, Thanksgiving week? So the Thanksgiving week, sometimes it's like a low volume week, but it can offer us something to work as well, since we are heading towards the end of the month, the end of the year as well. So these types of periods, they usually are marked by some sort of a rally, usually to the upside, but we can eventually expect something lower as well. So the Dow is just doing a small correction there. So no buy side liquidity taken on ES. Meanwhile, NQ is displacing lower. Very weak NQ. This could have been perfect if we have taken out previous day high eventually, or the regular trading hours buy side liquidity. But so far, no major liquidity was taken on ES. We still have some sort of an SMT with ES and NQ. So price trying to lose the first quadrant on ES. We are still inside this shaded area, which is the end walk. And so far we have the first presentation here, first presented fair value gap on ES. Price tail displacing lower. So NQ really pushing towards lower prices. And yes, seems like it's one-sided as well right now. Really would like to see a movement to the upside here on ES. Just a retrace. Yeah, so far, just a one-sided move to the downside. In the meantime, NQ just moved lower, way lower. It moved towards those imbalances on the 1 hour. And now I would like to see eventually ES coming a little bit higher. Yeah, but it's not giving us that entry. So price really tried to go above the first quadrant of that daily wick. Was never able to do it. So now it's kind of losing that daily wick. So here we have the bottom of it, and we are entering the 1 hour fair value gap, the 4 hour midpoint fair value gap. But at this point, I think we will lose them and eventually go lower towards this end walk, which is still, yeah, it has been worked out, but we might go towards it. So no chance here for us to engage with this. The first presentation was followed by a move lower without any sort of a retrace. Well, now let's see. Let's see if we will have some sort of a reversal at 950 to 1010, or if this will be just a one-sided market to the downside. Because so far it seems like it is. But as you might know, I don't like to chase these markets, especially when they are one-sided, because we never know when we can eventually expect a reversal. But yeah, fast move to the downside so far. Price really losing ground here. One-sided move. And Q also moving to the downside. Well, there's not not even a pit stop. Price is just moving lower on the high time frames. We have these relative equal lows here. Interesting. There we go. Market really dumping right now. Just a one-sided move to the downside. God damn. Well, the trading idea was kind of here, but no chance. No chance to get into it. And it would have been perfect if we just smashed these regular trading hour buy side liquidity or eventually pre-market highs. Then I would aggressively probably entered as soon as we formed this first presented fair value gap. But um, giving us that price just moved to the downside without any type of a retrace, I will now have to wait for something. I will not blindly buy this as well, despite these fair value gaps being inverted and we are inside of a macro. Um, if price wants to go lower, it will, because at this point we still have some sell side down here, and we can take a measure in between these two, and mark event horizon as well, which is somewhere here. So this is event horizon, which usually acts as support or resistance on price. And yeah, we were not able to close below event horizon. So let's see if we go back inside the wick, the first quadrant of the wick, or if we kind of try to go for the wick but rejected it once again. We'll give it some time just to decide what it wants to do. Conditions for a reversal are somehow in place here, but yeah, I'm not that guy who wants to play every reversal and every inverted fair value gap. I prefer to wait for something that will eventually give me something more than a quick reversal. Because these types of reversals can eventually be short-lived. But I kind of like this reaction here back inside. And now we have all this liquidity that we did not take right at the open. So price really came outside these fair value gaps as a probably as a fake breakdown. We came inside the daily wick once again. We inverted some form of imbalances. So this might be our Judas swing here. And now we will follow through probably towards these highs. But the problem here is that NQ has to grind a lot here just to reach for those highs. But it seems like that's what's going to happen. Let's see how price really reacts as soon as we reach for this end walk here. Because we can go for premium inside of this leg, which we are now. And yeah, continue lower. Yeah, so far price is still pushing. It kind of stopped a little bit, but after that aggressive movement to the upside, it's normal to see a pit stop on price. There we go. Very aggressive market since the open so far. So an aggressive move down and an aggressive move up. So this is not quite usual for a Thanksgiving holiday week, but just like I told you guys, we can eventually expect a low volume week, or we can expect some aggressive moves since we are heading towards the end of the month and the end of the year as well. Yeah, so price is back inside that NWAG, back inside the wick. And yeah, this eventually was our manipulation. Yeah, back towards the first presentation here and looking at yes, seems quite bullish on higher time frames. If you look at the 15-minute, if you look at the 1 hour as well, pretty big, pretty large wick here. Yeah, so far nothing. So far, no trades. Price just came aggressively down and aggressively to the upside. So now it's starting to try to hold here inside that analog. So the 10 a.m. candle is opening as well. So now we probably wait for some sort of a manipulation towards a manipulation lower, eventually to seek for something higher. Let's see. Because at this point, the 10 a.m. candle on the 4 hour is opening. The 10 a.m. candle on the 1 hour chart is opening as well, on the 15-minute as well. So this is really an important candle. Yeah, an aggressive retrace to the downside here. Let's see if these bullish fair value gaps will somehow hold and being respected, or if we somehow will move lower after this massive move to the upside. So far, an aggressive move to the downside here. Very aggressive market here. But I'm not sure if this is just a manipulation lower, honestly. If this is a manipulation lower, this is too harsh. Yeah. I mean, it's still acceptable. But at this point, if we want to go higher, I need to see this being reclaimed as a bullish fair value gap once again. Otherwise, lower we go. So not quite an easy market to trade right now. But we are outside of the wick once again. Midnight open got rejected. 9:30 open got rejected. The end walk got rejected once again. So I wouldn't be surprised if I see something like this. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all. But giving the aggressive movements that we are watching here, I will just give the market some time to do whatever it wants. So nice displacement here to the upside towards pre-market lows here. Let me just see. Just take a look here. Yeah. This is massive. 15 handles as a stop is quite something. But yeah. Not liking this for bearish continuation, since we did not respect this at all. So I believe these highs now will be targeted since we respected OTE levels as well. Yeah, there we go. The higher time frames. Yeah, they seem nice as well. But I just don't like how for a bullish entry we will have the analog right away as our main resistance here. But let's see. Let's see if we can get an entry around this fair value gap here, or eventually a little bit lower. This one is a reclaimed one. Mm. I feel like we will not have that entry here. Yeah. Let's wait a bit. Let's wait a bit. Price coming down once again, but let's see how this one closes here. Because we got a rejection at midnight open, a rejection at 9:30 open here. Yeah. Just mark this out from here. This anymore. Pre-market lows, I don't need them anymore as well. Yeah. The only thing that I'm not liking here is that I will buy inside of an NWOG after not getting a closure above the midpoint. So the NWOG can act as a resistance here and move price towards these lows, these ones here as well, event horizon, and that's why I'm not liking to decided not to buy yet. This is one of those moments where I ask myself, if I open a position here and put my stop here, will my stop get hit? And the answer to that question is yeah, probably. That's why I'm not doing anything yet. What about you guys? Have you done anything yet? Have you taken any trades yet? Because for now I'm just still watching. Let's see if price can go inside the end wall once again, or if we might still outside of it. Because right now it seems like price wants to stay below it and outside of it. And for something bullish, I needed to see some willingness to trade inside the end walk and probably above the midpoint of it as well. Yeah, it seems like the party has kind of stopped here. Was quite of a start here. A massive move to the downside, a quick reaction to the upside. But now seems like we kind of stall a bit. Price is trying to decide whatever it wants to do. But so far, the bullish PD arrays are holding here. So the reclaimed one is holding. This one here is holding as well. But the structure is not ideal. I mean, it's not what I would like to see on price. Let me just take a look at YM just to see how YM is behaving, and YM as the strongest one is now giving us some false hopes here. Yeah. Yeah, just a barcode for the last couple of 20 minutes, I guess, 15 minutes. Not much that we can work with here. I'm glad I just did not interact with the market still. But so far, things are, I believe things are more inclined to the bearish way because we are rejecting 9:30 open, midnight open, rejecting this analog as well. So I'm not surprised if I see price coming lower here, um, because I guess the bullishness is not there yet. So this is not actually a position that I'm taking here. This was just an idea of a position, and I'm just watching it develop here. At this point, I would be praying for my stop. So that's why I decided not to interact with it, because at some point I asked myself if I really would like to engage with something that could eventually get hit, and there we go. I would have been stopped out if I had taken that long there. So at this point we are inverting this one. I will take this out. It doesn't mean nothing. But yeah, for a bearish idea, I just don't like how these highs are being presented as well. So I'm not sure about the market today, honestly. Quite an ugly market. Yeah, it seems like NQ wants to move lower from here, but let's see how OES will react to this inverted fair value gap here. Yeah, kind of a thick market today, honestly. It really ran pretty well. It really ran pretty well in the first minutes, but after it, it's kind of hard to frame anything when price is acting like this. Let me just mark the 1050 macro just to see how far we are from it. 1050. To 1110. There we go. See, prices, I believe price is now stuck inside the first quadrant of the daily wick. So it's kind of deciding if it wants to progress higher towards the midpoint of it, or if it wants to entirely lose it and eventually reach for lower prices. Because at the open, price tried to go above it, as you can see here, the 25% of first quadrant, and it got harshly rejected, and then it moved higher inside the first quadrant once again, but then we ping ponged inside this quadrant. So until we decide to move above the first quadrant or below the bottom of it, I probably will decide not to take anything. But at the same time, I'm kind of liking how price is rejecting the first presentation here. It's rejecting midnight open. It's rejecting 9:30 open. It's rejecting the NWOG. But at the same time, I feel like it's kind of stuck in between PD arrays. At the same time, um, it's respecting the bullishness of these two, the bullish 4 hour and 1 hour fair value gaps here. It's respecting event horizon here as well. So yeah, it's not giving us that clean run and a clean read on price about what it wants really to do. Yeah, pushing once again here. Let's see if it can close above 9:30 open and midnight open as well. Let me just take a look at YM just to see if YM wants to progress higher as well. Yeah, it doesn't look bad, but I don't know. Oops. What did I do? Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah, just give me a second, guys. Yeah, I believe we are back. I don't know what did I do here, but I believe we are back. And with that said, price just come on, man. And now the camera. God damn it. Yeah, and now it seems obvious, right? Oh well. Uh so yeah, price in these last couple 2 minutes, price just pushed towards um the first presentation, midnight open, 9:30 open as well. So will it hold here inside the first presented for value gap, or will it come towards those lows? Well, at this point, let's see if we will have some sort of a retrace lower, but I don't think so. We are so close to pre-market highs, previous day high, um, that I believe we will go straight to it. And the problem was market coming down here towards this imbalance here. In order to engage with this, we would have to have a huge stop loss, something like this at least, 16 handle stop loss, which is very big. I kind of don't like it. And see how the opens are really dictating price right now. 830 open acting as a major resistance once again. So I really don't like this market at all, honestly. Yeah, now we need to push. If we don't push, then we will move probably lower once again and turn this into something like a high resistance to the upside. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, but it really needs to push. Otherwise, 830 will act as a resistance once again, and yeah, at this point I'm looking at NQ. NQ is on a 15-minute. It tapped a 15-minute fair value gap, and it's It's having some hard time to. It's having a hard time to close above it. So we might see some more of a retrace here on ES. There we go. Yeah. Price is not able to close above 830, taking a long time here, but inverting this small fair value gap here, the bearish one. So I believe it's just a matter of time before we will head towards the midpoint of the daily wick. Probably we will have to wait for 1050 to deliver. But so far, price is holding above the first presentation here. Not able to close below it. The only thing here is 830. Yeah, this 15-minute candle will close in a minute, so let's see. So far, ES is trying to progress higher. NQ trying to follow as well. There we go, pre-market highs. And I believe 50% of the daily wick will follow here. Let me just take a look at where price can eventually stop here. Yeah, event horizon is near the 50% of the daily wick as well. So yeah, um, in terms of what we were expecting, when I saw price not delivering here, I kind of was expecting some lower moves, I have to say. But as soon as I saw this displacement, I knew that pre-market highs would eventually deliver, and eventually 50% as well of the daily wick. But I really didn't like how price just moved, because in terms of delivery, we just had a 2-minute delivery here. Then we stopped for about 15 minutes. Then another 2-minute delivery. And now we are going towards this inefficiency here. So let's see if we will have some more follow through. At this point, I'm expecting some more follow through. Unless NQ is really heavy and wants to deliver lower. Oh, yeah, no, it feels like I didn't miss anything here. Price coming back once again to a 30 open. And the first presented fair value gap. So really hard to trade this environment, honestly. So far, 830 open is holding, but things are not quite bullish on NQ. Not liking how price is delivering there. Yeah, back to the first presented fair value gap. So kind of odd, honestly. So will price hold here, or will we go lower? I really would like to see it hold here to go for another run to the upside. But the problem here is that NQ is still behind here. A lot behind. And this can turn out to be some sort of a SNT on the high time frames and move price to the downside. But so far, the first presented fair value gap is being respected. Price has not been able to close below the midpoint of it. Hmm. Once again, 830 being rejected. Yeah. Very odd price action today, honestly. But yeah, sometimes it is just like this. I guess I could have engaged somewhere here, but I was expecting low prices. Looking at the state of NQ when price was here, but it then delivered higher for 2 minutes. It stopped for 15 minutes. Then it delivered higher for 2 3 minutes, and then it came back. So Yeah, I think I did a mismatch here. I think I did a mismatch, honestly. I believe a lot of people might might get hurt with this price action and end up getting hurt probably. Yeah. 3 minutes before the 15-minute candle just closes. And it might be an engulfing candle. So especially on ES and NQ. So let's see if it will eventually engulf or if it just wants to take out this low and move higher. Nice reaction here. Very nice displacement. Let me just check what NQ is doing. Yeah, it kind of offered some relative equal lows here as well. The price coming here for a 30, displacing here. To see if this one holds here. This might be the continuation to the upside. Since we are inside a macro as well. Let me just check. Mm. Yeah, the risk reward is not the best here. Yeah, NQ is not holding that fair value gap, so this kind of invalidates the idea of a continuation here, probably. So far, this this has been very hard to trade, I guess. So we are back to the opening price. So no real movements has been made. No real movements. Mm, mm, mm. Somehow price has not been able to close below the midpoint of the first presented fair value gap, and now it's displacing a little bit higher here, moving a little bit higher. This is not displacement at all. Yeah, I kind of like this shape here. But I'm not sure, honestly. I know that the draw might be around here, eventually the next and walk, but price is mumbling here for too long now. Um, and wherever I place my stop, if I place my stop here and I ask myself, will I get my stop hit? Yeah, probably. Uh, how things are running right now, unless I put a super large stop, but yeah, that's not trading. That's gambling. See, price is just in a back and forth movement. Um, not giving us those clear runs, those one-sided runs. So what about you guys? Have you done anything yet? Are you in some sort of a position right here, right now? Because honestly, I would like to see it drive higher, but it's taking too much time here. It will probably do it in a fast move, in a one or two candle move, just like it has been done. Um, but yeah, it is like I said before. If I place my stop around here, below these lows, probably below 930 open, and I ask myself if my stop will get hit, yeah, probably. I would have to put my stop probably around here just to be safe about this long movement. João Pedro Vieira along to data highs. To data highs on NQ, right? Because yeah, on AS we already took those data highs. 1009 is your entry. Yeah, NQ, yeah. Yeah, that's what's boring me as well, because on AS we already took out those major buy side liquidity points, while on NQ we still have some, and that's why probably we are just hanging here, just waiting for NQ to move. But yeah, at this point, I believe that the main draw on ES might be 50% of that previous daily wick, and eventually the next quadrant as well. And this shaded area, which is the next sand walk. But yeah, it's kind of hard to position myself here, because no matter how I try to long this, if I put my stop here, I will probably get stopped out. If I put my stop here, this this is already a large stop here. It's a 16 handle stop, so it's kind of hard to position myself here. That's why I'm kind of hesitant here. And will probably not decide not to do anything and just wait for it and just watch it. Because let me just take a look at the Nasdaq. Yeah, the Nasdaq, it's a similar thing. If you have not catch if you have not caught this this long around here, there is no place where you can put your stop loss around here. would guarantee it would be safe. And even here, if you are already at break even, price can eventually do something like this as well. So, yeah, quite a hard morning for me, honestly. And I'm glad I didn't do anything. I'm glad I did not chase this one-sided move here. I'm glad I did not chase this one-sided move as well. Um, Here I could eventually enter the round here with this reaction because I was taking OTE levels here, and I kind of saw that we were respecting OTE. Um, but then my entry would be eventually around these candles around here. So I would have placed my stop probably around here, and I'm not sure if I would have held all this time. So I believe I didn't miss anything here that would be quite significant or quite large of a move. So yeah, not the type of market that I would like to that I really like to trade. It was an easy morning. Yeah, it might be for you, but not for me. Because honestly, we did nothing. We are back to 9:30 open, so there is no movement here on price. There is no direction on price, so we just manipulated. Oh, it was not. Yeah, it was not. Definitely, it wasn't. It wasn't a an easy morning because yeah, we as I was saying, we did nothing. Prices back to 8:30 open, back to midnight open, back to 9:30 open, and I always talk about this whenever we have these opens very close to each other. Usually we tend to get a very hard price action in the New York AM session. Yeah, that's what I have been noticing for the past couple of months trading this. Whenever we have those three opens very close to each other or stacked to each other, it means we will have a hard New York AM session. And it's once again, these levels are very close. And yeah, this is quite a challenging morning. So I can see a lot of people getting hurt with this price action. A lot of it. A lot of people. A lot of people trying to buy this leg here and eventually getting closed, uh, getting their stop hits, eventually trying to short this and getting their stop hit, eventually buying this and getting their stop hit at least at break even. So yeah, kind of hard. And right now things are pretty. I don't know. I'm not sure what to say, but uh, if we look into NQ, NQ is respecting a 15-minute bearish fair value gap. It's not been able to close above it. Um, we have an SMT on the higher time frames, just like the 15-minute, the 1 hour, I believe the 4 hour as well. So yeah, unless NQ really really reacts here and really pushes to the upside, we might see lower prices eventually retracing back to the previous 1 hour 1 hour wick, which we barely retraced to. So it is kind of acceptable for price to retrace into 50% or 25% of those wicks. But let's see, it might be just a high resistance move to the upside as well. But I really don't like to participate on those, honestly. They drive me nuts. Yeah, on a lower time frames, you are waiting for low prices. No, okay. Yeah, it might. It might because looking at NQ, it's almost permissible to say that we will eventually come a little bit lower. Twenty-two five hundred. 22,500. Oh, you're talking about the low and the high time frames. Well, 22,500 is a big stretch to the downside. But let me just see, or let me just try to see what you're seeing as well. Oh, you're talking about this imbalance here. Yeah, on last week's close, I said that I would like to see September lows being taken on ES. But if we can eventually stay above this wick here, and we can eventually explore this wick, which we are on ES already. It's a bit messy here because of my annotations, but I will take this out. Just let me. So here on ES, we already are trying to eventually reach for the midpoint of the wick, 50% of it, and then we would need a larger displacement to the downside just to confirm that we will go for September lows. Because when price was here, I was eventually expecting September lows, but looking at it right now, I'm not sure unless we reject the midpoint of the wick, or eventually 25% of it. Ideally, 25% of it would be great to see, and that would move probably price lower, NQ lower as well. But if price really tries and tends to explore the high quadrants of the wick, we will probably move towards this imbalance here and these highs that are still clear to me. But yeah, I think it will. It all depends on this week's price action and eventually the close of the of this month as well, because we are heading towards the end of the year, and usually if you go back, usually the end of the year usually provides a rally, which we call the Santa rally. And this might be the start of it, honestly. I know that I'm changing my bias, but for the last couple of days, I really didn't like to see how we closed on Friday, on last Friday. I was expecting a closure lower, but we managed to go for 50% of this massive down candle. So if we stay above 50% of this wick here, yeah, we will go for that Santa rally, most probably. And the same here on NQ, but NQ is a little bit more bearish still, because NQ is facing a hard time to go for and retest this premium wick. But yeah, we might expect something like that, I guess. So back to ES, I see that we are moving. Let me bring back my annotations here. I don't want to hide it all. There we go. So a lot of time here, once again, about 20 minutes again. Yeah, we definitely need to wait a little bit more. Yeah, but you're waiting for lower prices to buy on a long time frame. I see what you mean. Yeah, I would definitely not buy here, but if we get that center rally, it may this last Friday and this start of the week might present us with the start of that center rally. So yeah, and we are reaching for 11:30. My time window of action is almost there. So unfortunately, no trades. But I feel like I didn't miss anything, honestly, because at this point we didn't do much. And as I said before, I believe that our drawn liquidity might be around this area right now. Um, but yeah, buying here was kind of a blinded shot, I guess, because yeah, I could have put myself with my stop loss below 930. That should hold, but eventually some sort of a wick could eventually come down, do some damage, and move to the upside, and that would have taken my stop. But yeah, Joel, price is moving in your way. So it might have not been the best price action, but it's slowly moving in your way. So congrats for it. Honestly, congrats for it. So do you trade mainly NQ or do you trade other assets? I don't believe Jean-Pierre Vieira is still here. Jean, are you still there? I was asking you, but do you trade besides NQ? Do you trade anything else? ES or gold or I don't know, some commodities? Yeah, guys, I guess that's it. Price is not doing anything as well. So I believe I will end the stream here. We'll be back tomorrow. And yeah, tomorrow it's Wednesday. We will have Thanksgiving on Thursday. So tomorrow might be a hard day to trade as well. I mean, this whole week, this whole week can eventually be a hard trading trading week, but since we have a smaller week, um, Thursday we will have Thanksgiving. I don't believe Friday the market will do anything as well, but yeah, we will at least we will tape read it, and we will be here tape reading it. Um, but yeah, I'm not expecting anything from the market this week, um, given that it's a holiday week. But yeah, think about the possibility for the Santa rally since we closed the way we closed on Friday, and since yesterday we rallied about almost 2% as well. So we probably are heading towards the Santa rally. I'm not sure, but it can be, despite expecting on a longer term lower prices, but we will have to let time run to see if something like that will happen or not. So we are just speculating here. So yeah, guys, for those who were here with me, thank you very much. If you're not subscribed yet, just hit the subscribe button. It will help as well. And yeah, and it will motivate me, of course, to be here every day as well. So hope to see you tomorrow, 9:20 New York local time. And yeah, have a nice Tuesday, and hope to see you tomorrow. Thank you very much, guys. See ya. Stay safe.